Hello, how are you?
Fine, and you, but it's raining.
Oh yeah, I love the rain.
I hate the rain.
Yes. Well, it must be novel for you to see a country with more than 5 minutes rain.
Well, I hate this. I hate the rain and... Well, how are you?
I'm okay, it's nice to see you. It's finally nice to meet you for the first time properly.
Yeah, well, I asked you sugar the other day.
Well. Right, so we've got a drink.
Yeah.
You might as well just jump straight in. So I've brought a drink for you.
Oh, thank you.
Chosen it.
You're polite, I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I'll try to open that for you. Thank you. There we go, that's for you.
Thank you, and I also bring a drink for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I open.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Right, well, thank you very much. That's for you.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy it.
Enjoy. It's hot chocolate.
It's warm chocolate.
Warm chocolate.
Warm chocolate.
And this is coffee.
It used to be, yes.
Just coffee.
What do you think? It's strong.
Yeah.
It's strong.
I've never drink just coffee.
The reason I bought that was because I don't normally drink coffee, and my impression of the Spanish culture is that it's much more diverse, it's much more into the types of drinks. The drinks we have here are quite bland, there's not much care goes into them, but you look at Spanish drinks, coffees, that sort of thing. There's lots of different types of coffee.
Yeah.
And I went for the espresso because the Spanish are passionate people.
Yeah, but this is a really general thought.
It is. But I've only ever been to Spain once, and obviously having gone to all the different cafes, I noticed that a lot of people were drinking the smaller coffees.
Yeah, that's true. It's just a small glass.
Small glass, yeah.
With coffee, with dark coffee.
Okay.
And it's okay.
That's it.
And that's all.
That's it. No way you do. Why did you go for this? What made you choose it?
Because in Spain, the chocolate, warm chocolate, hot chocolate, it's a tradition. But it's not the chocolate like this, because here the chocolate is light.
Yeah.
It's more liquid.
Okay.
It's
Thicker.
thicker. In Spain it's more dense and density.
Yeah.
It's chocolate.
This is my first cup of hot chocolate.
Yeah, do you like
I've
it?
never drank it before.
No, really?
Mm.
Wow. So,
It's quite nice.
yeah, well, I've never drank before just coffee. Maybe I don't sleep in 1 week.
Yeah, but that's it. You should get to sleep by next weekend.
Yeah. And in Spain, the tradition is chocolate with churros. I don't know if you know what is churros. Churros is like something to eat. Long and it's sweety, sugar. It's with sugar.
Okay.
And you order chocolate and churros.
Right.
It's a mix.
Okay.
So you take the churros and put into the chocolate, and then of course you eat it.
Okay.
And it's a traditional in winter.
Yeah.
Almost every week you have to go to a place which is called churreria,
Just for the chocolate.
just for the chocolate and churros. In winter it's very typical. Winter and in the winter afternoon.
Yeah, I'd have to try that.
While you are here having dinner, we are there
Yes. Okay.
having this.
I think if we go out to those sorts of things, it tends to be more of a restaurant, so there's more food involved, maybe a glass of wine or something like that.
Yeah.
Many glasses of wine. Many glasses of wine.
I don't know if here are a lot of wine.
Do you not drink wine? Do you drink wine?
White wine.
White wine. What's your favourite wine?
Not very professional at all.
Do you not?
No.
Pinot Grigio?
Just one.
Just wine.
Just white
Just
wine.
As long as it's wine, you're
Yeah.
fine.
White wine, a good one.
Yeah.
But I'm not well. Alvarinho.
I've not heard of it.
Alvarinho is a white wine of Galicia,
Okay.
and it's spumoso, sparkle,
Like a spirit.
spirit, yeah,
Like
with bubbles,
Oh, okay. Oh, fizzy.
fizzy,
Fizzy.
fizzy. And it's,
Um,
and it's the taste is sweet. The flour is sweet as well.
Yeah, there's a few sparkling wines you can get. They don't have a very good reputation. They tend to be drunk just to get drunk. There's not much taste there. It's just alcohol.
No. Here you drink a lot of alcohol.
Yes. Well, it's that kind of country.
Yeah.
What do you think of these? Did you see these?
The number one.
Yeah. Do you want to try the first one?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to break it.
I think you might have to.
Yeah. Okay. So, how is the traditional drink prepared in your culture? Are there any variations to it? I can't repeat it properly.
Okay.
How is the traditional drink prepared in your culture?
Are there any variations? to it?
Variations.
Okay. Well, the answer to that one for me is very easy. It's whiskey. So there really is only two ways to drink whiskey.
Two ways.
Yeah.
Which
By itself,
uh-huh.
or with a few drops of water in it. And putting the drops of water in helps to release the aroma. But obviously you don't put too much in because then you water the drink down. But what is interesting is what type of whiskey you go for, because there are 5 different whiskey regions. And yeah. I think there's over 140 distilleries. I have to check. It's not one of those things I know that much about. But there are 5 whiskey making regions, and each region produces its whiskey from the local crops, local water. That's how you need it. And more importantly, when they dry the hops, sometimes they smoke them, so they'll use peat bog. So they'll actually when they come to dry the hops out, and before it goes into the process of making the whiskey, they lay the hops out on the floor, and underneath they create fires.
Oh.
And if you, depending on what you're burning, smoke rises, infuses the flavours into the hops, and then that then goes out into the final drink. So each region is very, very different. So some are quite light, some are very dark, some are very smoky. Yeah.
And also the valuation of the whiskey is different.
Yeah, yes, because the older the whiskey, the stronger it is.
More
more alcohol you get.
More
yeah.
alcohol.
It tends to be 10-year, 12, 15 and 18-year-old of the traditional that these whiskies will sit for until they're
And how much it costs a whiskey of 10 years?
a good bottle of whiskey is about £60-70.
67 pounds.
60 or 70.
A bottle?
Yeah.
A pack.
A normal bottle of it. You can get cheaper whiskey.
But it's more...
If you want a nice smooth whiskey that's been looked after, you have to pay for what you get.
Well, of course you have, I don't know, Jack Daniels.
Yeah. Well, I think that's quite sweet. I know it's a whiskey, it's good, but I think it's a very, there's sugars in it.
Yeah, it's not a good whiskey, I think.
I've never But the other interesting thing about whiskey is when they finish making it, is what you actually put the whiskey into, the type of barrel that's, because I know that we use, some of the regions use wood that was made to use Spanish drinks, I think, which yours. And when they finish with that barrel, then the whiskey So just turn from the wood as well.
Yeah.
So it's a very simple drink.
No, it's not simple.
But quite a lot goes into it, and it's in the way that you drink it. It does vary. It's interesting.
And you always drink whiskey with water?
I put just a few drops in because I like it because it just seems to bring the aroma. But you can drink it neat.
Without ice.
You can put ice in it. People seem to frown upon it because obviously the ice melts and then it dilutes it. So yeah, you're supposed to really drink it at room temperature, but I'm not that. It doesn't bother me, but it seems to bother some people. They're quite snobby about it.
Wow. I don't like whiskey.
You don't like whiskey?
Well, I don't like the whiskey in Spain. Maybe a good whiskey, I could appreciate it.
Well, if we make it to the second day, well, maybe I'll buy you whiskey.
Yeah.
So, tell me about your
the traditional drink in Spain.
Yeah.
Wine, many wine.
Yeah. Is there a particular wine that's more popular? Or?
I'm not very professional of wine,
not?
but I try to do my best.
Okay.
The red wine is very popular.
Yeah.
Specifically in the north of Spain, produce a lot of red wine, good red wine. It's called, I don't know if you know the region, it's La Rioja.
I had Rioja in my mind.
Rioja, yeah. So La Rioja is in the north of Spain.
I have tried it, but I've only tried bad Rioja.
Bad Rioja.
So I would like to try a really nice
Yeah.
Rioja. That's something I would like to try at some point.
Yeah, sure. You should try, because if you like wine, you should try a good.
I'm quite lazy with wine. I tend to just drink Shiraz or Merlot. So, I'll have to try that.
Yeah. Here I think it's very expensive. Obviously, there is cheaper.
Yeah. Well, I've been to France a few times, and I know French wine is much cheaper and better.
And better.
Yeah. They tend to keep the nice stuff for themselves and put all the crap in the bottles for us and send it across the channel. So,
Yeah, sure.
why not?
In the Mediterranean, the traditional drink is white wine.
Oh, okay.
Because of usually the coast towns is white wine.
With fish.
With fish. Yeah, exactly. This is the tradition. And this is the drink, the traditional drink in Spain.
Right, good. Okay. Tall.
Ah, tall.
Okay. What time is the drink often consumed at? And what activity is pursued while drinking? Good one. Well, just drinking, really. It's just sit there and drink.
No, well, I answer it.
Okay.
Because you are making me a question.
Oh, okay. Well, ask me a question.
What time is the drink often consumed?
So what time is the drink often consumed at? So do you use it during the afternoon or in the evening?
Obviously the drink that I explained before.
It's snowing.
Yeah. It used to be drink while you are eating.
Okay.
You having lunch or having dinner. It's not just you don't go to a pub, for example, and order one glass of wine.
Right.
It's not.
I think certainly within our culture here, there's just going to the pub to drink just for the sake of getting drunk is very popular. And what I like
I think so.
Yeah, and what I've always liked about the Mediterranean lifestyle is that you can drink while eating. I much prefer doing that. Not only that, you can drink more.
Yeah.
Because you're drinking.
Because your restaurants are full.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are not drink alcohol to get drunk.
No.
Just to enjoy
the actual drink. Yeah.
The flour and or a tradition, because it could be a traditional. Maybe you can meet friends having lunch on through some wines and enjoy the company, enjoy the chat. It's not just to read the
What about music? What kind of music do you might listen to when you're drinking wine? You played me you sent me a link to a track.
Yeah.
That was nice. What was his name?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. It's nice.
Yeah, you like it. Yeah.
What did you like about it?
Because, well, Canada del Palo is not just music. It's the philosophy which has behind this guy. Canada del Palo, well, he died last year. Cancer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was young. I think he was 50 years old, 50, when he died. He had cancer 6 years.
That's a long time for something.
Yeah. But okay, he first of all he had cancer, he recovered, and then he again. So during these 6 years, he was always singing. He never stopped. So the philosophy of Canada del Palo is that you don't have to be afraid to live, and you have to live the present because it's just the for sure that you have, because the past is the past and the future is insert. So
I think we're all guilty. I'm certainly guilty of living in the past sometimes, but yeah, music's help. I like music. I like music. You do become a bit lazy as well, I think, with music I listen to, which I thought was quite interesting. Trying something I've not heard of or something I do by myself, but because you suggested it and listened to it, and I thought,
you don't just listen to music which you don't hear.
No, I don't tend to listen to my own music because I've written it, so there's no spontaneity. I do like listening to my own music. I do play it. It's not like some musicians will say, I hate writing music. I write stuff I like, and I like it.
Well, you have to like your own music because it's your creation.
Absolutely. But no, I do like to sort of music in the evening with some wine's nice, and it can affect the mood you're in, which would change what type of music you then choose.
Yeah, that's great. In the evening with the music and something to enjoy.
And to eat.
Eat.
Right, let's try another one. Just talk amongst yourselves. Reflect. Okay. Now take some time to describe.
Casting notes to each other. Casting notes. Try guessing what What?
So try guessing what the ingredients have gone into making the drink. So the drink that you made me. Is that what that means?
I think so. It's snowing.
I think the fact is fine. Oh, the tasting notes, right, okay, interesting. Right.
What is tasting notes?
Tasting, so the
Sorry,
flavours.
is it snowing?
Yeah, that's real snow.
Oh my god!
That's real snow.
Sorry, for me it's new, because I never... Wow!
That's real snow. It's raining and snowing.
snowing.
Yeah, it's raining and snowing.
Wow, that's amazing! Wow, look! Sorry, I break the... Wow! I wanted to take a picture. Oh, this is natural.
Stand outside.
Wow! Oh, it's not... Oh, no. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Well,
I think what they
taste notes.
No, taste notes. So what kind of flavours? I think that's what the question means. So what kind of what goes into the flavours? So with espresso, I think for me it's a very there's something about espresso that represents the idea of efficiency and because it's a very condensed drink, just drink it and it's down, that's it, you're off.
Not too impatient, it's like, come on,
productive. Exactly,
I don't have time to wake up.
Yeah. And there's something you said about drinking or eating something that's quite aggressive. You know, just
I don't agree.
Just not all the time, but just every now and again. So that's why I went for the espresso. I think my experience is the Spanish are very cultured, and there are extremes to their culture. And I think the espresso reflects that sometimes, especially not aggressive but passionate.
Passionate, yeah. Intense.
Intensity.
Yeah.
I like intensity.
Not aggressive.
That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Intensity.
Yeah.
For me, the espresso represents the intensity of the Spanish culture. I think it's lacking in other cultures sometimes.
No. Thank you, I guess. And I totally right. Yeah.
So what is chocolate in terms of the flavours? You think like warm and
Chocolate
sweet?
is the opposite of the you explained, which is the espresso. Chocolate is comfy, warm, relaxed, without rush, and join company, family, friends. This is all the meanings of hot chocolate.
So flavours for memories.
Yeah. So not melancholic because it not has to be melancholic, but maybe warm.
Yeah.
Environment, warm environment. And delicious, of course.
Okay, let's try another one out.
Are you fine with this?
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna draw.
Oh my god.
Draw. Do you have a special tea?
Tea way? Or serving on which is good?
Okay.
Continuously for the day with them. Tea way is this? Tea way.
Is it?
I don't know. What is it? Tea way?
It's the ducky.
Oh,
Right, so describe or draw. You read it out. I haven't got glasses, I'm sorry, I'm struggling to read it.
do you have a special tea wear? Or
teaware. Okay.
Teaware.
Right, okay.
or serving on,
I have, I'm going to draw this.
which is used?
Right, I'm going to draw it.
Can you describe how do they look like?
Well, I don't drink tea.
You have to
I
talk
don't-
about form, size.
Well, I don't drink tea much, but when I do, I've got a sort of a little fat metallic pot like this. It's just a little lid like that, and it's made from metal. And it's got a little, like a little bit of mesh in it. You put the TVs on the top, and you can it just matches the TV. Basically, it just looks like that.
And you can put it in the dryer?
Yeah. You can do, yeah.
That's
That's not what I do. No, well, no, because it's got plastic. You can put it on heat. But what I tend to do is I tend to just use it, just pour the hot water and then let it do its thing that way. But I don't normally drink hot drinks, but when I do, that's what I do.
And which kind of tea do you drink?
Either green tea or chamomile. Chamomile or green. I like Chinese tea, Chinese green tea. The other one that I've seen a lot of, because I don't drink coffee, is kind of this one. I don't know what it's called. Is it a cafetiere?
Oh, this is a cafetera. This is Spanish. We use this.
Yeah.
I
don't
don't see a
have
lot.
one, yeah. You have to draw it down.
This is, we prepare the cafe in this, in all the homes of this
Right.
type of cafe. It's like,
Oh, okay. Yes, that's it. Yeah, it's got the size to it.
well,
Yeah.
well, it's like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here you open here.
How does the coffee get into?
It's magic.
Because I've never really been able to work out how it works.
Here.
Is there really something up the middle of it or something?
Yeah, exactly. Here, this is inside, okay? Here, you have a recipient,
Okay.
and you open it. Okay, you can
Okay.
you
Yeah.
open it and put here the coffee.
Is the water sitting there now?
Yeah, so you put here the coffee, the coffee, and here the water. So you first you put the water, then the coffee, you close the cafetera, no cafetera. You close the cafetera, put it into the fire,
Yep.
and in maybe 5 minutes,
Okay.
this water comes up, and you have the coffee here.
Okay. That makes sense.
And it is
Oh, does it?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
because it's like it express.
Mm.
And when you listen this song, it's okay, cafe ready, coffee is ready.
Good.
And in all the houses we have this.
Cool. Okay. Right.
Cool! I'm an
I'm
artist.
having that.
I'm
Sign it for me later.
I'm Dalí.
There you go. No, all I need to do is teach you to sing. Let's try another one.
Try one.
Let's try another one.
Oh, it's amazing. Okay, wow. 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 I'm like a child, sorry. But this one is amazing. Wow. Sorry.
That's okay. I can't read that very well. This is a little bit of, let's see.
So,
Yeah.
is coffee tea drinking related to any religious or festivity occasions in your culture? Okay, now.
Yeah, I think for...
Is coffee tea?
Yeah, I understand the question.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, I think definitely you can drink...
Coffee or tea?
You can drink tea. Oh, well, certainly tea was the dominant drink for a long time.
Here.
Yeah. And you associate having a cup of tea on a break, or when you get back in from where you've been shopping, first thing you do is you put the kettle on. It's a very social drink. You offer to make tea, you know, if there's a group of you offer to go and either buy the drink or you go and make the drink. So there's definitely, you just take turns in it.
Tea
So-
with cookies.
yeah, definitely with something to eat as well. But I think over the last sort of 20 years or so, coffee's become more popular. So I think coffee's just as popular now as tea. But I think it's drunk in the same way. It's interchangeable. I don't think the way that coffee or tea is consumed any differently.
Oh, it's the same.
yeah.
It has the same.
But I don't think we had tea shops in the same way that we've got coffee shops. We don't have coffee shops that sort of sprung up.
But you can obviously order a tea.
Yeah. But you used
But
to have.
in the past, you had tea shops.
Yeah, there weren't that many of them. I mean, they did exist, but they weren't that common. I think I think since with the different Nero coffee and Starbucks, when they came in and started to spring up in the UK, I think the culture, I think a lot more people started to drink coffee. Yeah, and I don't think you go in and drink tea by yourself, whereas people might happy to go and buy a coffee and sit in a coffee shop by themselves.
That's very often.
Yeah.
I did every day. I did it every day. So it's very often. And also with my computer.
Yeah, but if you're working, that's fine. But I think just to, when we're talking about just going to the pub to drink just to get drunk, I think people do go out to the coffee shop just to sit there and drink coffee and look out the window.
Yeah, I love it. I went with a computer as well, and I love it.
Yeah.
I did too much, but here I'm beautiful. I have to forget that it's there. And here I miss to go to a coffee shop at 7 p.m.
Yeah,
Because the coffee shop
they don't tend to.
are closed.
Yeah. You have to make your own.
Yeah, but it's not the same. You have to be in a coffee shop and see the other people.
But we certainly here we like our breaks, so having a cup of tea is a way of stopping work or stopping what we're doing and just taking time to relax, communicate, and then back to work or back to work.
And you used to have tea after lunch?
I don't think there's any excuse. I don't think there's any particular convention. It's any excuse just to have a break or a chat. Let's have a cup of tea. And it's a nice way of just slowing the pace down of what it is that you're doing, so that if you're busy at work, you can't really communicate because you focus on work. By having a cup of tea, you can just sort of step back.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they are necessary.
Yeah.
They are absolutely. Even in a busy day, you need
to rest. And a lot of people don't do it. They just don't do it anymore. They just keep working.
Maybe these people are less productive
than
the other people.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's try another one.
Yeah.
Describe or enact. This is all you've got to act. How you're acting, so.
Enact?
Yeah, acting.
You want to read? Read it? Do you try any sort of question why the boy
I don't think so. I don't think they do here. I mean, I'm aware that when they prepare drinks in other countries, certainly the Japanese, it's quite a ritual. But I don't think we just put the kettle on the chat and get the biscuits out. I don't think there's any,
But do you observe any of these traditions within other people?
No, not really. Not really. I don't. I mean, I'm aware it happens. I'm aware it goes on. It's not something else.
Yeah.
Which is possibly a shame. It would be quite interesting. I think the closest I've come to is seeing the cafetiere being used. That's quite But again, that's bizarrely, I've only ever seen that used by people who are drinking coffee by themselves. I don't actually see it being used as a way of, like when you put the kettle on, if there were 4 or 5 of you having a drink, you could quite easily make a drink, 5 people. But the cafetiere is just, you just don't see drinking by themselves.
Yeah. Well, with the cafeteria you have to make a coffee. But you can make a cafeteria just for yourself.
But no, I don't, from a ritualistic point of view, there's nothing I've really observed drink-wise. I think with alcohol, you wouldn't.
I have a question, You used to put alcohol in the... Yes, it's raining inside.
It's raining inside.
Yeah. And we used to add alcohol in the coffee.
Sometimes.
Yeah. What is the name?
Well, I don't think there's a name particularly. You can add liqueurs to coffee. Or you
Irish coffee.
Or you can have Irish coffee with...
Because Irish coffee is coffee with whiskey.
With whiskey, yeah. So you can do that. You can add cream to the coffee.
But cream is not alcohol.
No, but you can put the cream, alcohol and the cream in. But yeah, it's, you know, you can pretty much put whiskey in it.
Irish coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in Spain it's very typical alcohol in the coffee.
Is it?
And it's what we call carajillo.
Okay.
Carajillo. And you order a carajillo of whiskey or a carajillo of anise.
Oh, aniseed.
Aniseed.
Yeah.
Or for example, personally I love carajillo of Baileys.
Okay.
Baileys?
Yeah, Baileys. You can put Baileys in Guinness as well.
Ah, yes. So,
If you don't like Guinness, put a Bailey in it and then you'll love it.
It's
magic.
It's crazy,
it's magic.
yeah.
It's magic. It turns
So
it into a completely different drink.
You can order Baileys in the Guinness.
Yeah.
It's like a crazy.
Yeah, it's really, really true. Yeah. Right, let's try another one. Let's try another one. We've got loads of questions.
Yeah, what is time?
36 minutes.
But it is not that good. It's just one more.
We'll do these two. Oh, okay, right down there.
Do you want it? Do you want it? Really?
Yeah, I want to.
Really? Are you sure? So, what is considered the most disrespectful in your culture? The most respectful, disrespectful in your culture. You have to read because you don't understand me. Oh.
No, it's not that. It's just I wouldn't have used those words next together. So I just wanted to make sure because it was.
Yeah. I was
either
kidding.
one or the other. One or the other. So what's the most disrespectful? I think ignoring someone. Yeah, so if you start talking to me, and halfway through I just turn around and ignore you, I think that's possible. For me, that would be, you know, when you're trying to talk to someone and they just ignore you. That's quite disrespectful.
Face to face.
Yeah.
So you're talking
And I just look out the window while you're talking about that. The other thing is,
I'm using the phone.
And the other thing is, I don't like it when people just walk at you in the street or they walk and they don't acknowledge that you're there. So rather than just stepping to the side to walk round you, they just walk at you and expect you to move out the way. So from a disrespectful point of view. My experience of Scotland is that most people are more socially mature here, so they tend to acknowledge each other more and they're more polite to each other. So this idea that Scotland was very rough or an aggressive place isn't something that I
No,
don't
they are very polite. Aren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah. At least in my month here, they
So
are
far.
Yeah, so far, they are very polite. Yes. In my culture, I don't know. Maybe the typical.
I think it's universal.
Yeah,
I think it's the same. I think it doesn't matter what culture, and ignoring someone is
Yeah, that's
certainly
totally.
Right, it's getting very cold, so
Yeah.
let's do the last one,
Yeah,
and then we'll go sit in the bar.
yeah, cool.
Alright, okay. Describe or sing. Brilliant.
Wow.
Do you listen to music
Hasta luego.
accompaniment during drinking time? Yeah. What sort of music? So when you're drinking, when do you tend to drink? Do you drink with food or do you drink by itself?
I used to drink with food, or in a pub with friends. I don't use to drink alone or by my own.
I like alcohol. If I'm sitting listening to music, I don't mind having a drink. But it's again, I wouldn't drink by myself. I can listen to music by myself,
Okay.
and I like that. And I might have a glass of wine, but I would rather go to a gig and drink watching a live music.
Oh.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And what kind of music?
Anything. If it's live, I'll listen to pretty much anything. As long as it's paid well.
At this time.
I've always had I've always quite liked flamenco, but there's just no
Flamenco?
Yeah, but there's no access to it where I am in Scotland. There's just no one that does decent flamenco music.
Okay.
I wrote some music, and one of the songs that I've put together has got guitars in it. It's nowhere near the flamenco style, but that's my kind of interpretation of how guitars are played in popular music. I'm trying to borrow from that. So I'd love to actually sit and drink wine watching flamenco. I'd love to do that, but there's nowhere in Edinburgh I can do that. So I might have to go.
Here it's difficult to do that.
Yeah, so I might have to go to Spain to do it.
Yeah, well, maybe in Spain, maybe it's not. Well, I don't know. I don't know where I should go in Barcelona, for example, to do that, because it's not very popular flamenco and things like that. But it's a good point.
I don't think you'll find it in Barcelona. Flamenco is a particular
In
certain region,
yeah.
particular region of the south.
Yeah, you should go to the south region to.
It's a long way to go for a glass of wine, though.
Well, not flamenco. I like flamenco. It's more popular there, indie music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, indie. Now all the new bands, new Spanish bands are indie music.
Oh, really?
I really like it. Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah, I think maybe.
let me just have a quick look at.
You have a book?
I've got pretty much. I can't read that. It's too small.
I don't know.
Hi.